Hello, I'm Ellen Vandermeide, Head of Enrichment Programs for the Kirk Newman Art School, and it is my pleasure today to introduce to you Audrey Rumzek. Audrey Rumzek is one of our current printmaking residents and is a University of Olivet graduate who studied biological illustration. Audrey's artistic style has a graphic quality that draws inspiration from comic art and old masters, such as Albrecht Dürer, Artemisia Gentileschi, Alphonse Mucha. Audrey's work focuses on themes such as everyday experiences of women and the beauty of being queer. I'd now like to invite Audrey to join me at the podium.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Audrey Rumzek, and I am the printmaking resident, one of the printmaking residents this year at the wonderful Kalamazoo Institute of the Arts. And I wanted to start you off with this quote. I am an artist because I breathe. I pour myself entirely upon the work until there is nothing left of me. This is a quote by artist and activist Leonore Anthony that I really felt kind of encapsulates how I make art as a person. Art has always been such a big part of my life and of my being that it's always something I've done. And I don't think I would be me without it. And so a little bit about me. I graduated from the University of Olivet. This photo was taken during the solar eclipse, actually. My friends and I were out making cyanotypes. The University of Olivet is a small school of about 1,500 students, and I originally went to the University of Olivet planning to go into horticulture and environmental science, and then I was in my first day of my second semester of chemistry, and I was like, I can't do it. This math is too hard. I'm not doing it. And I switched my major, and I do not regret it. I definitely really enjoyed it. And the University of Olivet gave me the wonderful opportunity to spend my last semester of my senior year in Florence at the Santa Reparata International School of the Arts. This is one of the doors to one of the campus buildings, their Cavour campus. And this school was absolutely wonderful. If anyone is thinking of studying abroad in Florence, I highly recommend them. And I got to take awesome classes such as book arts and garment construction, things that weren't offered at my home institution. I was there for about 4 months and had an absolutely wonderful time. So something about me, my motivations, things that get me going. And I like to make people feel, to give them something to connect to. I like to make artwork that I put so much love into, and then I get so much gratification seeing someone else look at that and like this, that looks like my cat, or seeing something that they can pull into and experience that, oh, you made that print about fish. I take my grandson fishing all the time. My grandson would love this. I like making things that, one, bring me joy, but that other people can connect to and can become a conversation starter. And so, as mentioned in my introduction, some of my main inspirations are Alphonse Mucha, Albrecht Dürer, Artemisia Gentileschi, the Baroque movement, and Art Nouveau. I really enjoy the decorative filigree and how it adds to the space and how it can be used to emphasize a shape and move your eye around using that eye track. I find them very pleasing. And so why printmaking? The process of printmaking to me it's very therapeutic and it's very intuitive to me, especially woodblock printing and lino cut printing. I like to let the medium tell me where it wants shadows and where it wants thicker lines and thinner lines. And it also is kind of like a challenge, like a mental puzzle to figure out, okay, how am I going to translate my drawing into a woodblock print or a lino print? Because you can't just, okay, I'm going to make it lighter here and darker there with a pencil. You have to actually carve in different values. And that's part of the reason why I enjoy it so much is it just gets my brain going. And I love how experimental printmaking lets you be as well. If you make a print and you want it to be different colors than the print you printed, it's not like oil painting where you might have to render it again. You can just, all right, well, I'll whip up another batch of these prints and I'm going to make them blue and yellow instead of blue and green. And I love how free that lets you be to experiment and try new things. And so this is some of my past work. This is one of my favorite pieces. This is called One with the Forest. It's an 8x10 woodcut. I made this as my very second ever wood block in undergrad. I really, really like the way this one came out. It is one of my absolute favorite prints. And then I have this one here. Queer Cowgirl, 8x10. This one's a jigsaw woodcut. We had to hand cut all of the pieces with the jigsaw, with the handsaw. And I can tell you that did, in fact, take forever. Very long time. Really liked it though. And then this piece here is probably my favorite piece I've made. It's a painting of mine, but it's called What Happened to This Guy? It is 5.5 feet, originally 6 foot tall, by 2 feet. It was too tall to fit on the easel. We had to cut it down. And this took me an entire semester. I was lovingly allowed to turn the figure drawing studio into a tripping hazard with fishing wire. So that was wonderful. I had a great time painting this, and it is, like I mentioned earlier, my absolute favorite piece. So some of my residency experiences. I have explored, as previously mentioned, themes of identity, and specifically the identity of women and queer women and the joy and beauty that comes with that, as well as the negatives and downsides and the hardship that comes with that, and how it's more than just a physical form. It's a state of being, it's a state of mind, it's an experience. And then I have also explored themes of whimsy of everyday life, and also, as you saw back here with the fish, aquatic life and aquatic animals. And so I've taken a few classes here at the KIA, and each one I have absolutely fallen in love with. So the first here is lithography. I have taken 2 lithography classes, and I really enjoy being able to translate my drawing directly onto the stone, which is kind of a nice break from that brain puzzle that I do enjoy, but I also quite love being able to take my drawing and put it right on the stone and know what it's going to look like. And the class has been incredibly insightful and inspiring. I didn't know about transferring an image on a stone. So over there on the left, or your guys' right, is a photo of Venice that we transferred onto the stone using acetone. And that was super, super cool. I did not know that you could do that. And you can also counter etch that image and draw on top of it. There's a lot of different things that you can do that I didn't know about with lithography, and also a lot of things that slightly went wrong that I didn't know about. I didn't wait long enough for the gum arabic to dry on the photo of my cat over there. So that's what the little bits of white are, is I put the paper down to cover it without waiting for it to dry fully. And it adhered. I panicked a little bit. It was fine. It came off. And then I also took beginning jewelry. So I had a running joke with a friend of mine that I was going to make fish jewelry only consistently. And I wasn't going to do it. And then I did. It happened. And so the class consisted of me and a few other women who we got along really well. It was a great community, and we enjoyed it so much that we all agreed to take it again next fall, and we all want to take it again together because we enjoyed hanging out so much. And I made the fish earrings as well as the betta fish necklace there. And then I'm also currently in beginning jewelry casting, and I was convinced to take it by the other residents at the residency bonfire, and I was so glad that I did. I'm currently working on a little silver fish ring. It's not finished yet, so it's just an in progress photo, but I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it's super fun, and I'm making a mold of it so I can make more. And so throughout this residency, I have learned so much. Back in the studio that I worked in for undergrad for printmaking, the equipment was incredibly different and not as nice as this equipment. And so nothing against my undergrad institution, loved it. But the press was very hard to pull, and you had to put a lot of weight and pressure on the prints to get them to go. And so I'd be jumping around like a little cartoon character, sliding all over the floor, trying to get the press to pull. And these are so incredibly easy, not like that at all. And I kind of was confused the first time I went to use these presses. And so everyone in the printmaking department has been so helpful. When I had questions, very welcoming, very good. My undergrad studio, we also didn't use mineral spirits to clean off the tools because our professor had a bad reaction to mineral spirits. And so I was also not used to that. And everyone here has been so helpful in showing me what to do. I also got really into mono printing. So I started experimenting with mono printing this semester after seeing a couple artists on Instagram do it, and they had used oil paints. And I was very worried about the cost of oil paints. They're expensive, incredibly expensive. And so I didn't want to use too much ink either. So I tried mixing the Caligo Safe Wash ink with about 50% extender, and it works super well. This is all one layer of print. I just ran it through the press one time. I am quite pleased with how this came out, and I made a bunch of different series of self-portraits. I made some fish. I had a lot of fun just experimenting with it this semester. And so I also have some works in progress currently. And so this piece here, I've been calling it my Star Ladies lithography piece. And basically, as you've seen throughout the presentation, I have quite a few images of these women with star-shaped heads. And I want to explain that a little bit. So I chose to do these women with star-shaped heads because being a woman, and specifically being a queer woman, isn't just a physical state of being. It's more than that. It's a mindset. It's just the way you live, the way of life. And it's also so beautiful and bright that I didn't want to encapsulate it in just a physical form. I wanted to have this ever-changing shape that also allows other people to put themselves in this space. So that's why I kind of came up with this idea of doing stars for the heads and just doing eyes and giving them different identifying features. So some of the star women will have different piercings, some will have different tattoos, different body shapes, to just kind of give them a little bit of identifying factors, but still make them very identifiable to all. And then I'm also working on this piece that I've been calling Resistance, Persistence, and Rebirth, which I'm probably going to come up with a different title for later, but it is a set of 3 lino cuts that I'm going to be turning into a book. And the first piece is called Resistance, and it's about pulling the sword out and kind of going against societal norms. And when society tries to get you down, tries to take away your rights, pulling that sword out and wielding it in the next one, which is Persistence, and wielding that against your captors and people that are trying to hurt you. And then going on to Rebirth, where not only do you come out of it a victor, you come out of it different and with a new mindset. And so that's why specifically I had chosen Rebirth for that title, is because I was going through a few different ideas, as you can see down at the bottom there, and I was going through like Triumph. I was kind of stuck on that one, but I settled ultimately on Rebirth, because not only do you come out different and you come out a victor, you also come out having fully changed. And then for the hands-on event, I was working on these 2 pieces that I have not got to print myself yet, and Deb actually gave them back to me and suggested that I try printing them. So I would like to. I really like the way these came out. I was quite pleased, especially with the cowboy boots over there on the left. I really quite like the design on that, and I would like to print them myself and just have a few copies to give to friends and things. So in the future, this is a photo I took when I was in Italy, and I would love to go back. I have been looking at more residencies because I have had such a positive experience here that I would absolutely love to go on to do more residencies. And I had a professor when I was in Italy. His name was Jason Kofke, and he was my figure drawing professor. And he told us about his experience of basically going from residency to residency. He was in Antarctica for 2 weeks, and Japan and China. And it was just so enthralling to me. I was like, I think that's what I want to do. I want to continue to travel and to make art and to just explore the world. And so I've been looking at residencies in Ireland, Italy, England, some here in the United States. There's actually a few that I've been looking at recently, some absolutely gorgeous ones. And my hopes for the next few years, like I said, traveling has always been an absolute dream of mine. I would love to see more of the world, see more cultures, meet new people. And I always like to go to another country, not with a tourist mindset that I'm there to just explore, but that I'm there to make art and to meet people and to do more than just see the country, but actually experience it. And I would also like to, like I said, save up for a few years and take on other residencies. And I would like to just keep getting my art out there and allowing other people to see it and connect with it. And I hope that it continues to touch other people and that people enjoy it, and it's something that they can put on their wall and think about, or it's something that'll remind them of a memory, something that'll keep them just entertained looking at it. Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions? Go ahead.
I'm curious about, do you have a particular printmaking direction that you want to focus on now that you've gone through the residency?
Okay, great question. You mentioned that. Is there any particular direction in printmaking that I want to take now that I've gone through the residency? And I think after trying a lot more printmaking media and going through and trying like lithography and monoprinting and other different styles, no matter what I do, I keep coming back to lino cut printing and woodblock printing. And I think those are kind of just, I like the way that I make my style when I make those images, and I just really find joy in doing them, and the ability that you can put them pretty much anywhere on anything. You can print them on a t-shirt, you can print them on a piece of paper, you could slap it on your wall if you really wanted to, and that is really appealing to me. Thank you. Yeah.
Do you have a
Okay, it's a good question. So do I have a preference between using wood, linoleum, or rubber? I honestly used to like wood cutting way more than lino cut. And I just haven't gone out and bought any wood recently, but I've been finding that I actually do like lino cut a lot, and just not when it's old and been sitting in a drawer for a long time. That was the reason I don't think I liked it, is because I didn't properly know how to take care of my lino and to keep it pliable and easy to carve. And so a lot of my lino, I was having problems with it, and the wood I was finding I wasn't having problems with. But now that I've bought fresh lino that works much better, I'm finding that I really like that a lot. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.